cheating and secretly murdering my husband. My name is Tres Malvado. I have been married to Joanna for almost 30 years. My favorite asset is my yacht Azimut 70. It is 70 feet long and cost about $1.5 million. I love sailing the open waters and plan to live to retirement sailing from port to port. These plans used to include Joanna, but now I am actively interviewing potential companions. For the past 60 days, I have been busy making plans to separate from my wife. At times during my marriage, I wondered if Joanna had been faithful. If she wasn't, it is certainly hard for me to complain. Joanna tries her best to give me sexual pleasure. As soon as I found out about her lover, or should I say one of her lovers, or maybe her current lover, I faked a medical problem to prevent her sexual advances. I am STD-free and intend to remain so. I own and am actively involved in a software company. The business is very combative and quite profitable. About 6 months ago, I decided it was time to find a buyer for my business and retire. My attorney, Jim Parco, is a college classmate of mine. We barely knew each other then, but I started using him a few years after organizing my venture. We'd go to his parties and they'd go to ours. About 3 months ago, negotiations to liquidate my company gained momentum. Proposed contracts had already bounced back and forth several times. In Jim's office, I was reviewing the latest copy of Redline. After spending an hour mulling over the changes, we stopped briefly. "What other projects keep you busy, Jim?" Helping out a junior partner on a pro bono basis. As disgusting as it sounds, he got the Hendricks twins' conviction postponed. Good legal work, but unpleasant nonetheless. They're out on bail, but a retrial has been scheduled. These are the guys who used the two couples? Yeah. They stole the couple's SUV and terrorized them for over 48 hours. All four suffered permanent damage to most parts of their bodies. Multiple cuts and burns. Many, many burns. Let's hope justice is served this time. I think it will. The new judge will probably be aware of what happened the first time. I've also been helping another colleague with a little work for the convention center and hotel. With attorney-client issues, I can't go into detail. I go to the restroom. There's a DVD player on that computer over there you can copy there. With a strange movement, Jim opened the folder and placed it in the middle of the desk. The folder was pointing at me. Combine that with his odd remark on the DVD, and I was more than confused. Without looking back, Jim sprinted out the door. Curiosity took over. I stood up and looked at the folder. The top photo showed a woman on the ground and a startled hotel employee with a shopping cart. Jim's behavior confused me. I looked at the photo again, and my stomach clenched. In the background, a couple was waiting for the elevator and looking back at the noise. The lady in the couple was Joanna. I have no idea who the man is. I copied down the date and time of the photo. I definitely need my investigator to check it out. There was a DVD in the folder. Based on Jim's comment, I think I should copy it. As I started the copying process, I sat down again with confused thoughts. I was just putting the disc back in the folder when Jim walked into the room. "Can I put this folder away, Tress?" "Yeah. Looks like I have some homework to do, Jim." Leaving Jim's office, I contacted Roger, the private investigator my brother had used in the divorce. He set about finding some killer evidence. I probably don't want to know how Roger came up with this, but I had a copy of the insurance investigation report. As I read the report, I quickly went through the DVD I had made in Jim's office. Once synchronized, the report was much easier to understand. The insurance claim on my screen was from a fancy hotel in the convention center. They were being sued because a maintenance worker pushed his work cart into an elderly lady. That's usually resolved with security cameras. I read the worker's transcribed report and chuckled. I was just coming down the lobby and this pretty lady with hammers like bowling balls was bouncing toward me. I just couldn't take my eyes off her body and crashed into the old lady. I watched the video and ended up laughing out loud. I was following Ms. Bowling Balls so closely that I didn't notice the accident. I backed up the video and watched it carefully. Sure enough, like a mechanical soldier on a clock, the worker's head was slowly following the bowling balls, and the little old lady didn't stand a chance. I began to create a timeline. In one of the still frames waiting by the elevator, I found my wife. She was walking under the arm of a man I didn't know. Joanna has a tattoo on her forearm that she likes to show off, which is why she always wears sleeveless blouses. I had no doubt it was her. I had video of the whole day. I found that they left after about 2 hours. Her hair wasn't as groomed as it used to be. I felt pretty stupid. How could I have missed a clue? This video was months ago, and I'm not naive enough to believe I caught her the one time she got lost. I decided to slow things down by not filing for divorce. I will liquidate and start sailing around the world without Joanna. In a year, she will have to file for divorce. I'm not worried about having to divide some assets, but I'll be damned if I'm going to share the proceeds of my software company. Roger's first report took about a week. Bad news and more bad news. We don't know who the guy in the video is. We do know that, except for that one incident, Joanna is making love to Charlie Andrews. She and Charlie use our beach house. Charlie used to belong to the Gray Lakes Country Club, where I am a board member. He's divorced and his wife got him so wound up that now he can't afford the country club. Makes me wonder if Joanna was the cheater behind his downfall. I made a doctor's appointment. I explained that I didn't want to have sex with Joanna and asked him to check me for STDs. He told me about an over-the-counter drug called ketoconazole, which slows down the attraction dramatically. I could fool Joanna by telling her that my passivity was caused by a combination of drugs. If Joanna wanted to play around, I wouldn't be able to respond. Randy's reports showed that my cheating wife was making love to Charlie once, sometimes twice a week. Turns out Charlie wasn't the only one the fool was having sex with. Tim Stark, who sits with me at the club, slept with her too. His ass got fried when his wife chewed his ass off for a simple flirtation. After a few weeks with my flaccid stan, Joanna completely stopped trying to have sex with me. I stopped taking my medication. Finally, the sale of my business was finalized. Jim had organized the sale so that all proceeds were deposited out of the reach of the U.S. government. Jim also set up several shell corporations for me. I sold my yacht to one of the shell corporations. A few more sales before it was sold to the corporation that owns my software income. I paid off the loan on the yacht and split the remaining money between my children. Friday would be my last day before handing over the keys to the new owners of the business. 4 more days before my new life begins. Trez, I need you to watch and listen to today's video. How about Cottonwood Park? Meet me at the lake. I'll be there. Shouldn't take me more than 15 minutes. There weren't many people in the park. Roger was walking around the room when I came up. Hey, Roger, what are we snooping around for? Once you hear this, you'll understand. He turned on the video on his phone. It all started when Joanna and Charlie walked into our beach house.
You don't need to watch this. Let me fast forward. It's somewhat amusing to watch at high speed.
Joanna's head bobbed up and down. Her legs were stiff. Charlie pounced on Joanne. Roger slowed down the tape. Charlie and Joanna, lying on the bed, started talking. Are you ready to do it this weekend, babe? Yeah, on Saturday. Tress and I are going out on his favorite little boat. Your idea of pumping him up with that thing to use on a date is perfect. I rented a boat. I'll follow you. As soon as he passes out, flash your lights. I'll dock and climb aboard. Are you sure you know how to shut down the engines? I think so, Joanna answered quickly. Once aboard, we can pull it up on deck and throw it overboard. After that, I'll have a little date use. That's fine. I'll take us a few miles away from his body and then turn off the engines. After that, I'll drive my boat back to the marina and then anonymously report the boat drifting. When they find your boat, you will be unconscious. Convince them to check you out and they find a drug to use on your date? Tell them there's cash and jewelry missing? Joanna leaned over and kissed Charlie. Sunday night you can make love to a rich widow. My head was spinning. I had to get to them before they got to me. I was reminded of a line from a spaghetti western. If you're gonna shoot, shoot. Don't talk. Don't do anything stupid, Tress. She's not worth it, Roger warned me. Give me the amount of your bills. I need to pay it off by Saturday. Send me all the videos by email. Can I put off calling the police about this video until Friday? I was planning on leaving some money to help Joanna forget about me. I changed my mind and split it between the kids. I'll have Roger send them the damn video as soon as I sail off into the setting sun. If they themselves want to help their mother, so be it. My online ad for a set of nautical companions was met with many women wanting to go sailing. The accompanying photos and videos were quite erotic. I asked them to write me a 2-page justification as to why I should choose them. Those who couldn't put 2 sentences together found the delete button. If I am to be alone with a woman, she better be able to keep the conversation going. I arranged for 2 interviews to take place aboard the yacht. The first was dubious from the start. Are you ready to leave your old life behind for a month? What do you mean?
While on board, you will have no contact with anyone but me. You can rent a locker and leave all your electronic gadgets behind.
I'm not ready for that. Thank you for your time. And she got off the boat. Now, the second lady, Natalie, looked to be maybe in her early 40s. I'm pretty sure she wasn't wearing a bra. Her smile was nice. I gave her the same warning about electronics. Well, if you're going to kill me, having gadgets won't matter much, will it? Exactly. And you know what you're supposed to do? Cooking, cleaning, and braising, I suspect. Cook, clean, and I won't force you. Your interview includes a test drive. Natalie smiled, showing off her breasts. While you're here, let's go downstairs. I'm clean. I brought the results of the STD test I took a few weeks ago. I was tested a couple months ago, and I'm clean too. After that, we made love to her. Be here at dawn on Saturday. Bring all the feminine things you need. I'll make sure all the food and drink is loaded and ready to go. Where are we going? I pointed to the ocean. There's that wave, and then we're going to follow the stars. Cool. After Natalie left, it occurred to me that I felt no guilt or regret about cheating on Joanna. It's funny how love turns to hate and then turns to indifference so quickly. On Thursday, I went to the beach house, which was less than an hour away. Joanna does nothing without pouring herself some wine. There I found several bottles of her favorite wine. After removing all but one, I spiked some sleeping pills and replaced the cork. That should be enough to incapacitate them, and they should recover within a few hours. I put her rotting belly back on the shelf. I canceled our joint health insurance policy, turning mine into an individual policy. Knowing what I was planning added insult to injury. Friday morning, I set up my briefcase and bag in the kitchen. Joanna, I have to fly to Vegas to meet with Alonso. I'll be back tomorrow morning. We can still take the boat. Okay, have fun. I'll see you tomorrow. And she pecked me on the cheek. I walked out but stopped after 2 blocks. About an hour later, Joanna came out. Roger texted that she was out on the highway heading for the beach house. I went into the house and gathered the rest of my clothes. I had already rented a storage locker using my new alias and filled it with things I wanted to keep. Joanna was so busy with Charlie that she didn't notice anything. My conversation with Tim Stark's wife went well enough. I sent her a video of her husband with Joanna. She agreed to wait until Saturday to meet Tim. By the time I got to the beach house, it was getting dark. I put on my mask since I knew Roger still had his surveillance equipment inside. I didn't want to make it too easy for the police. They might blame me, but why would they need gift wrapping? Once inside, I found the lovers in the bedroom, naked but sound asleep. Dragging a kitchen chair into the bedroom, I lifted Charlie up and then duct-taped him in a sitting position. His arms and legs were of no use to him now. It was easier with Joanna. I used handcuffs from the store to tie her wrists to the headboard of the bed. I stuffed Joanna's mouth with Charlie's boxers. I used Joanna's bra and panties to do the same to Charlie. I wasn't sure how long it would be before they woke up. Every half hour or so, I would smack them in the face to gauge how close we were getting. I was a little worried because the guests were due to arrive around 2 a.m. It was about 1 a.m. when the fun started. Turning my back to Roger's camera, I took off my mask. The fear in their eyes was perfect as I slapped each one to make sure we were ready. Good morning, lovebirds. I got a video that shows you two were thinking of killing me this weekend. Well, that's not gonna happen. Now you're both gonna suffer. Asshole, did you know she was making love to Tim Stark, too? Charlie stared at her. Apparently, he thought they were dating exclusively. Tim had also rented a motorboat for Saturday. Maybe there should be 2 dead bodies floating in the harbor. Joanna sputtered this time. Well, I'm not sure either of you are going sailing tomorrow. Let me tell you a little story. I spent the next 15 minutes telling them about the arrest and trial of the Hendricks twins. I read the police report detailing the disgusting acts their victims had been subjected to. Both of them were grunting. It sounded like, "Please don't do this." Now you don't have to worry about me. I'm not going to do any of the disgusting and painful things to you that the twins did to those 4 people. I'm going to be out of here in a few minutes. You could see them relax a little, but then they recognize the truth. The reason I told you this story is because I invited these bullies over. I'm going to leave the front door unlocked for them. You two have fun with the boys, okay? I know I've never seen such fear in a man's eyes. Charlie's eyes were wild, and Joanna looked very frightened. Their imminent doom was drawing near. Both began to plead, and the tears flowed. Even through their duct-taped mouths, I could recognize the pleas. I'm sorry. I don't understand anything you're saying. I have to run. Ta-ta. Have a nice life, lovebirds. Putting on my mask and quickly exiting out the back door, I headed for the airport. Parking my car in the airport's short-term parking lot, I put on a fake mustache, black glasses, and a baseball cap. The shuttle only runs every half hour in the middle of the night, so I waited. After the shuttle dropped me off at the terminal, I found a restroom and shaved my head. After taking off my first disguise, I put on another hat and shirt and walked out of the terminal. Stopping a cab, I asked for a ride to the marina. I paid cash for everything. The final preparations on the yacht went smoothly. The sky in the east was beginning to lighten. When Natalie arrived, she had a suitcase, a backpack, and a bag of steaming coffee cups. Did you shave? New life, new man, new woman? Ready to sail? Aye, aye, Captain. Slowly making our way through the maze of ships, we found open water and rushed away. I was updating the log when Natalie showed up in the galley. Sir, I can't find anything to put in here. And we made love to her. We talked a lot. She worked at an insurance company, had an affair, and her husband divorced her. She wanted to save the marriage, but her husband and kids disowned her. Good for me, I guess. She was a skillful lover. I didn't complain. It wasn't until Monday, around noon, that we entered the first port. I quickly found a Wi-Fi hotspot and checked the news. The Hendricks twins had been apprehended again. The pair were found around noon on Saturday. The twins subjected them to unspeakable torture. Who says I don't have a conscience? I told Roger to leave a tip anonymously. He called the fire department and said that 2 ambulances would be needed to check out the beach house. They should alert the police as well as the kidnappers who might be there. I'm enjoying myself. The first thing I did was change the name of my boat to Burning Desires. Natalie and I hopped from port to port along the west coast. She stayed with me for 12 weeks before the lure of the sea faded. Still, she was exactly what I needed to get over Joanna. There are so many women willing to trade their forbidden pleasures for a swim. After spending a few more months in the South, I took the yacht across Panama. Once sailing in the Gulf, I sailed to the Bahamas. So far, I have enjoyed the talents of 5 women. KJ, the last of them, has been working for me for 10 months now. She is a very energetic Latina with beautiful black eyes. I know I'm labeled. The IRS wants to short sell my company, and I doubt our tax returns were filed on time or correctly. The sheriff would like to talk to me, too. Thanks to Roger's surveillance footage, the Hendricks twins were found guilty in a retrial of the beach house attack and sentenced to life in prison. They're already serving life sentences, so it doesn't bother me. I don't know why Joanna and Charlie were never charged with conspiring to kill me. I keep in touch with my children. They describe Joanna's injuries as brutal. She still lived in the same house, but her money was severely depleted by hospitals and plastic surgeons. The end! Subscribe to my channel. Thank you!